Welcome back to Kiesel News, everybody. To start today off, we actually have some casting news for The Mandalorian and Grogu. No, The Mandalorian isn't being recast. I'm talking about the film Mandalorian and Grogu that's supposed to come out in 2026. It's most likely replacing Mando Season 4. For one, I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, I feel like there's way more that you can do in a TV space than you can in a movie space, especially for Mandalorian and its more episodic nature, especially going into what Season 4 seems like it was gonna be. But, anyways, Sigourney Weaver is in talks to star in it. Now, this is interesting for sure, as she's known for the Alien movies, the Avatar movies. She was in Ghostbusters. So she definitely is known for being in these types of films. It could also just be a rumor, but everybody is talking about it, so I'd say it's pretty likely. I'm sure they'd want to give someone like her a bigger role, though, so I do question who she should play, because there's already so many characters in the Mandoverse. I don't know if we need another major player. Next up, there's a movie coming out about how the White House reacts to ballistic missiles coming for it. Some dude named Noah Oppenheim is writing the script, and we're in the middle of a potential World War III happening with fucking Israel, Gaza, and Iran. Like, I don't think we need to be making movies about ballistic missiles hitting the US right now. And also, after researching Noah Oppenheim, this dude did Maze Runner apparently, but he also works for NBC News, or at least did work for NBC News. So, being in the news industry, he likely is seeing everyone talking about the potential World War III, and it's like, maybe we can make some money off of this. Obviously, we don't know for sure, but it's just funny how that works out. If anyone can give an accurate representation, though, it's someone who works in news. Maybe the movie will be good, if we're not all dead by the time it comes out. Next up, EA's CEO says they're gonna put ads into major games. So, two questions here. One, how the fuck is EA making these stumbles, bro? Like, every single day on Kiesel News, there's been EA does a fumble, EA makes an oopsie, EA fucking sucks. I know that's all I'm fucking talking about at this point, but they just don't stop. Secondly, how do you plan to implement this? Is it gonna be suited for Gen Alpha and their short attention spans? Like, you're gonna have an ad in one corner of the screen while you're playing the game? Or are you just gonna, like, stop the game in the middle of combat? Like, you're in the middle of the final boss of Jedi Survivor 3, and then you just get an ad for fucking flex tape or some shit. Or what about, like, Battlefield 3? Like, you're mid-match and you just get ads interrupting your game? Like, the ads would have to be in the corner, no? Oh, goddamn EA. You always disappoint. Next up, we are apparently gonna get Season 2 of Shogun. Am I surprised by this? Absolutely fucking not. It was obvious that FX was gonna want to capitalize on the success, even though there's only one book. But that means that Season 2 is gonna be entirely original and not based on the book whatsoever if it does come out. Unless they can get the author to make a second book. But I mean, I think if he was gonna make a second book, he would have started planning it when they announced the show in the first place. Regardless, I just hope they don't shoot themselves in the foot. There's gonna be a new Godzilla and Kong movie. Whoa, big news. I'm sure everybody's shocked. But what is interesting is that Dave Callahan is writing it. He has wrote Shang-Chi, Mortal Kombat, Across the Spider-Verse, and a previous Godzilla movie. Can we talk about how absolutely stacked that lineup is? Are you fucking serious, man? For one, he already has experience with Godzilla. Two, Shang-Chi gives off a very similar vibe with a similar setting and overall aesthetic. Across the Spider-Verse was just good all around. And Mortal Kombat as well is very well rooted in. It's very similar to Shang-Chi, I would say. So, yeah, this is gonna be a great movie, I can already tell. I'm not even a fan really of the Godzilla franchise, but like I may go watch this if it pans out just because of this resume, man. Holy shit. Next up, we have Bumble's founder saying that the future of dating is to date other people's AI and have them choose your match for you. Well, what the fuck does she mean by this? It sounds weirdly dystopian. Like, why would you have your AI date for you when you could just date yourself, you know? Sure, maybe it would save you a bit of time, but I think nowadays we're already saved enough time with stuff like Tinder. You can basically filter out your preferences to just these insane amounts. I think you should just wing it the odd time, you know? Just go out and see who you meet. Don't try and use AI to find a perfect match. And I mean, hey, it's AI. Especially now. Imagine if we did this now. They'd be like, oh, you said that you wanted someone who likes hot dogs? Well, here's someone who is vegan. Like, I don't know why we're talking about this right now. She also suggested using AI as dating coaches, which I mean, one, if you need a fucking AI as your dating coach, you're a lost cause. Though it would be funny to see what type of advice they would give. Like, what would Chat GBT, but like a little more advanced, recommend as a date? Leave that in the comments. What do you think an AI that's a little more advanced than we would have now? What do you think they would recommend as a date? All right. Next, we have some crazy news. There's a $2 million ticket for the upcoming Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. Now, I heard that this fight was canceled from people around me. I don't know what they were on when they said this, as it's obviously not now. But just look at what comes with this ticket: two ringside apron seats, eight ringside floor seats, food and drinks. Now, imagine how much that is. A luxury stay and a dressing room entry. Like, what? Dude, for one, fucking what food and drinks do you think they're selling? And how much do you think the 2 million contributes to that? Like, are you gonna get fucking obese if you go to this match? Apparently, it's an all-inclusive food menu and an open bar, so you probably just pay for the timed access that you have to it, probably. But apparently, you also get signed gloves by Paul and Tyson. Not so much for Tyson, but for Jake Paul. And you get a 2-night stay at a hotel. Like, holy fuck, man. The only thing that I don't get is why you need so many seats. Because remember, this is for one ticket, right? So one person is gonna buy a $2 million ticket. You better make sure that anyone that you let take your seats pays for their fair share of the ticket, man. Like, imagine they ripped you off. They're like, oh yeah, I'll pay for my fair share later. And boom, they just get to have a free seat, and you paid $2 million. Continuing the trend of games being review bombed, first we had Helldivers, now we have Hi-Fi Rush, but it's being reverse review bombed, instead gaining a whole bunch of new positive reviews. This is because of the Tongo Gameworks studio shut down by Xbox. So people are essentially protesting that by making this game more popular. And I think this is it's definitely a sweet sentiment, and it might work. I mean, Helldivers and all its backlash worked. Who's to say this won't? Not for Hi-Fi Rush itself, unfortunately, or the studio for that matter, but it could prevent it from happening to another studio in the future, which is security that we definitely need because the industry is fucked right now.